What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about everything post-kidney transplant, dialysis, lupus, fitness, lifestyle. We talk about it all. So if you guys know anyone that could benefit from these types of videos, please go ahead and share it with them. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the kidney transplant scar care. And I want to share my personal story with you guys and my journey with it. So like I said, if you know anyone, make sure you share this channel with them. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be notified when I post my next kidney video. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of scar care, let me give you a quick overview of my transplant journey. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I got my transplant in 2020, right before everything started changing. And guys, it was up and down roller coaster. I wouldn't say that it was easy by any means, but I went through the emotions. Now, when it came to the scar part, it was painful, right? I literally just got cut open. So my particular scar is on the right side on my lower abdominal area. And the scar is, honestly, it looks like this. Like this is the length of the shape of my scar. So we start with the little tip, and I've actually measured this. This is how I know. We measured it and it goes up a little bit. When I first got that cut, I didn't know how it was gonna look. All I remember telling my doctor is take your time. Make sure my scar looks good, because I didn't want to not be able to wear crop tops. And you guys, I'm young. Like, I wanted to be able to wear nice clothes, wear a bathing suit, and not see this big cut across my stomach. Sometimes you see people who had a baby and they got, the C-section, and they got this big scar. I had no clue what this was going to entail. All I knew is that I was going to get a kidney, and really and truly, I didn't care. I just wanted the kidney, but I wanted it to look neat. Just like how when they did my fistula, I told the doctor I wanted that to look neat. That looks great, right? And so does my scar, and I'm going to show you guys. So just bear with me for a moment. But when I first got it, it was sensitive. It was sore. It didn't look good at all. Like, it was really bad. Like, it didn't really look good. There was phases like, I'm like, is this infected? Is this how it's supposed to look? But we're going through the healing process of, the transplant. And so my expectations were here, and it's not what I expected. And so like I would go in, and the nice thing about this is that I didn't know what to expect, but I had a team of doctors. And in the beginning, when you get your transplant, you are constantly going in to be examined, and they constantly look at the area. So that was a good part. It's not like when I got this done and I had to call my doctor and say, hey, I need to come in. I think it's infected. Can you look at it? I was constantly seeing the transplant doctor. So she would, have me change into my gown. She will examine it. She will look at it. She'll ask me if I'm feeling any pain at the site. Like, honestly, even to this day, that still feels numb. Like, that area still feels like it's better. But for many years, you guys, again, I got my transplant in 2020. So it's been over 3 years, over 3.5 years now, as the time I'm making this video. And for a few years, that area was numb. Like, I barely felt anything. It was weird. And so I got used to it over time. Don't worry about that part. So you're going to feel numb down there. It's not going to look the greatest, but you have your team that's going to constantly examine you, make sure that the site is not infected, make sure, and let you know what you need to do for self-care. Every hospital is different. I'm just talking off of my particular situation and my team. But again, I want you guys to reach out if you feel like, yours might be infected, it doesn't look too good. And even if it's, years later, you're still feeling pain at that site, don't hesitate, speak up, and talk to your team. So the transplant scarring is a natural part of the process, like I said. So don't be afraid when it comes to that. You're going to go through different phases. It's going to look different over time. And everyone's scarring can range, right? Some people might be a little smaller. Some people might be larger. So don't compare my situation and think that your doctor didn't do a good job. It's all different, okay? Because different hospitals, different procedures, different surgeons. So now let's go ahead and get into the strategies that I found that worked for me in minimizing transplant scars. So for me, like I said, at my site, I made sure I got clearance from my doctor when I was able to put things on that area. Because in the beginning, you're excited. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to hurry up. I want to heal this. I want to make sure that it's good. So I made sure that I got clearance. So before you put any product on, make sure you talk to your doctor and make sure that your process, you're healing, that site is not an open wound, that you're putting anything on. So make sure you're talking to your team before you even try any of these methods. So one of the methods that work well for me, maybe I should go in order, right? So I was already dealing with a lot of itching from dialysis. So I had some creams that I used in the beginning, which worked well, right? But my aunt told me about vitamin E oil. And I said, okay, vitamin E oil. So I started doing research and I started looking into it. And I decided, I asked my team if it was okay for me to use it. My doctor told me it's fine, no worries. So I started using vitamin E oil on my spot. I feel like that was the most transformative method, I should say. So I would put the vitamin E oil. For me, it helped lighten up the area. I didn't have, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you guys shortly. Bear with me. Stay till the end because you want to see what my scar looks like. And I started rubbing this on my scar nightly, right? And I wanted to break up the tissue, the scar tissue that was there. So I constantly like massage that area nonstop, massage it, put the oils on it, rub it, lotion it down. From time to time, I might still put vitamin E oil, but I don't put it as often because I am like way past that stage. I just use my regular lotion. And I'm the type of person that I don't like to be ashy. I like to be well moisturized. So when you're selecting something, find something that's well moisturizing for your body type. For me, I know what works well and I constantly use that. And I'm going to put all of my items in my Amazon store so you guys can go ahead and check that out. If you haven't tried anything, maybe one of these might work best for you as well. But lotion that area constantly, rubbing it. I was always rubbing because I wanted to break up that scar tissue. I didn't want it to just sit there and then it starts to just have buildup. So I just constantly rubbed. That was a method that I used, is rubbing this out all the time and putting vitamin E oil and lotion nonstop, like all the time. Even when I was pregnant. And you know how I know that this worked is because a lot of people, when they're pregnant, they don't really take care of their stomach areas as well. I see a lot of people with a lot of stretch marks and a lot of like dark spots and whatnot. I've had 2 children, right? And everything is very minimized. And another thing that I used was the bio oil. That's when I was pregnant as well. But I was always rubbing lotion, always rubbing oils on my stomach. And my stomach was great. So I said, man, if I use the same concept that I did when I was pregnant for my transplant scar, I should be okay. So, and that's what I did. I just used what I used throughout my pregnancies, both pregnancies, and I brought it over into my transplant scar journey, and it worked magnificent. So before I go ahead and I get into showing you guys my scar, what it looks like, I want to answer some questions that I have gotten. This was a very, very popular, question. So many people wanted to see what my scar looks like. They saw my arm and how good it looks. They want to see my stomach. But not only that, it's a lot of questions that was coming in. So I asked a few people, what are some questions that you guys want to know? And I got some. So let me go ahead and answer that for you guys. I have it in my phone. So let me grab my phone and pull up all the questions that I got over time. And I'm going to share my answers with you guys. So give me a second. All right. So the first question is, how often should I massage my scars? Daily. That's my answer. Multiple times out of the day. Like if you have the time and you're not doing nothing, you're sitting in your bed, grab some lotion. Rub, or the oils, rub your stomach. Just rub it. Once it starts healing and you got the okay, like I said earlier, just rub. Constantly rub that to break up the scar tissue, to minimize the scarring. I would say multiple times a day if you have the time. But if you don't have the time, every time you get in the shower, if it's in the morning and at nighttime, do it twice a day. That's my answer for that. So the next question I have, did you experience any discomfort or itching with the scar site? Yes, I did. It would itch sometimes. And I'm the type of person that I don't want any issues. I don't want it to get infected, so I try not to. I'll itch like around it. But yes, I did experience that. And like I said, lotion helped with the itching. I also experienced a lot of itching when I was on dialysis. So I kind of went through a lot of different lotions. And like I said, I'll put all of the items in the Amazon store so you can check out which lotions. If you're not familiar with these lotions, I will go ahead and drop that in there. But yes, I did have itching at the site, to answer your question. The next question that I received was, any advice for caregivers or loved ones on how to support someone with a transplant scar? If you're a caregiver, kudos to you that you're even asking and you're watching this video. I love when caregivers want to learn more. People want to learn more to help. I think that's fantastic. Remind them, right? So it depends on the type of caregiver. If you're like a parent or, a friend, just remind them, hey, don't forget, what I learned from Crissy was to put the oils and the creams on and constantly massage that site. If you're like a spouse, help them, right? Show the intimacy through that. Like my husband always used to if we're watching a movie, he'll lay down hey, I'll give him the oils and he'll massage it. And one of my oils that I really love, especially for nighttime, was that Bath and Body Works, the aroma therapy, because it makes me feel good. I can go to sleep, but I let him use the oils on my stomach, rub my stomach for me. I think that helps with the intimacy part as well too, because that's your spouse, right? And they're caring for you and they're loving on you. It feels good. So that's my answer. It depends on the type of caregiver you are, but just giving them a reminder, maybe buying the product for them, telling somebody who got a kidney transplant, hey, you should do this, is one thing, right? But if you care deeply for that person, you will go out and buy the product for them and you will gift it to them and you will tell them, hey, this is what I learned and I just wanted to bring these items to you, and I'll, send you some reminders. Don't forget to, massage it in and certain things like that. I think going above and beyond, thinking higher than just the basics. A lot of people just think of the basics. Oh, how you doing? Hey, don't forget to do that. But just being kind and buying somebody and gifting them the products, I think really touches deep. I wish I had people that did that for me, right? Instead of just telling me stuff, why don't you go out and buy it and put it in a gift basket and bring it to me? I think that would have touched me a lot deeper. Thank God I have my amazing husband that was there to be there for me and do certain things. And he always thought above and beyond, because I'm the type of person, I'm like that as well. So that makes him have to elevate. But that was another question. Let's see, what other questions did I get? What are some signs that my scar might be developing complications? And when should I seek medical attention? So the signs is when you feel like it, right? When you think there's something wrong. Because my situation and your situation are two different situations. No two people are exactly alike. If you're looking at your site and something looks off, something looks weird, it's oozing, it's having issues, or call your team. Don't wait till, let me go message somebody and figure out, is this normal? No. You call your doctor, you ask questions, you tell them, hey, I need an appointment, something doesn't look right, something doesn't feel right. Be an advocate for your own health. I preach that all the time. Speak up, let people know how you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Make sure that you're documenting your journey. Make sure you have your journals. Like I always say, document what you're eating, what you're doing, how many times you're doing, if you tried a new product, whatever you're doing in your life, especially in the beginning of getting a kidney transplant, document it all. Get one of the journals, write them down, because when you go into your appointment, you can say, hey, I noticed on this day, this is what happened to me, right? So make sure that you're constantly documenting your journey. But to answer your question, whenever you feel that there's something going on is when you need to reach out to your team. Next question. What was the most challenging aspect of managing your transplant scar? I would say in the beginning. I would say as soon as I got it, because I wasn't familiar, I didn't know exactly what to do. I didn't want to put anything on it. I know that area was very fresh. So I had to learn and I had to speak up and talk to my doctors. So understanding the process was the hard part for me. This is why I make these videos, so you guys can skip over all of that, so you guys can learn from the good, the bad, and the ugly that I've been through. So I think the hardest part for me was just the beginning stages, understanding, you know, this is what it's supposed to look like, and these are the different phases of what my transplant scar is going to go through. So I would say that's the hardest part that I experienced. Very good question. Let's see what else. Got a few more here. Are there any foods or dietary changes that help improve scar healing? Honestly, transparent, I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, that's a very hard question. I don't know. I don't know if there's any foods that will help with scarring or not. That's something that you're personally gonna have to research. I'm not gonna tell you guys something that I've never like documented or researched or to figure out, is there particular foods. I know that there's particular foods that, you know, I could not eat in the beginning of my transplant journey. So I don't know. I'm honest. That one stumped me. You got me. But I'm not sure what's good for a healing process. Talk to your doctor, your team. I'm always going to revert you to your team just to verify what you can do. And I'm not even sure if they're going to tell you to eat. And to be honest with you, they might not even tell you to eat something that's going to help with healing. Because a lot of these doctors are medical doctors. They're not holistic doctors. They're not going to tell you certain things. So your regular team doctor, I guarantee you they don't say anything. You're probably going to have to find like a holistic doctor or somebody to ask that particular question to. Okay. How soon after the transplant surgery should I start scar care? The time frame differs for each person. So once you get clearance from your doctor where you could start putting things on that site, I think will be the proper time. So once your doctor says, yeah, that area is good to go, you could go ahead, you could put lotions, you could put creams, you could put whatever you want on there, then I would say that's the right time for you. The last question is, how do you deal with feeling self-conscious related to your scar? Self-conscious related to your scar. So, first of all, congratulations in getting your kidney transplant. Let me remind you of the days when you were on dialysis, fighting for life, wanting just to live. And that's what I had to tell myself, right? Like, at first, it didn't look good. It was ugly. It was disgusting looking. And I had to remind myself that I'm still alive, right? And a lot of people might think that I'm vain and, you know, the type of person that I am. But I just know there is a time, like when I did my arm, right? I said I wanted to look good because I know that I'm young and I want my body to look good, right? I want to have a good bounce back journey. And so for this part, telling my doctors that I want them to take the time on the scarring and the cuts and all of that was one thing. But reminding myself that this is a journey that I'm going to have to go through. And I'm going to do my part in whatever I can do to help minimize the scarring effects. But I'm alive, right? And they did tell me that they were going to cut it low, so you probably won't see it when you put on your bathing suits and things of that nature. Because I had all of this with my surgeon, even up to the morning. If you guys watch my kidney transplant vlog, like I vlogged the whole process that morning. They came in. I don't think I recorded when the doctor actually came in and spoke, because, you know, they're about this privacy stuff. But when he came in, I think I took off my camera at that time, but those were some of the questions and how he was telling me that he could do this in his sleep. And I'm like, don't do this in your sleep, okay? I need you to take your time and open your eyes and do this. But we had a lot of jokes and fun about it. And he did say he would try to cut it low. And they did. My kidney is enlarged, especially on this side. So I'm always going to have they always told me that my stomach is never going to be flat, you know, like abs of steel, because my brother's kidney is so big. And so it's always going to be on the right side. It's going to be a little bit more pudge. I know that, you know, I'm into the gym and I'm working out and I want my belly to be as flat as possible, but I know that I'm always going to have that pudge. And I just remind myself as how far I've come and I'm grateful to be alive. And so don't worry about it. That's what I'm going to say. Don't worry about it. When you get to that bridge, you'll cross it. Once you get past this healing, then just do the steps that I told you. Do the circular motions, massage those areas. If you don't want to, you can go to an action facility and people can massage for you and take care of you. And buy the lotions, try them out, try different things. And I kind of want to hear everybody else's story when it comes to that. Like, what are you guys trying? But let me go through the reveal, because a lot of you guys want to see what my stomach looks like. Again, my stomach is not, flat, no abs of steel. So no judgment, because we're family. So let me show you guys. I'm going to come closer so you could see. I'm not going to show you everything because it's low, but it starts from here and it goes here. So it's like this, right? And it's this whole little area. See how light that looks? Like, you can't even tell. It's just like a light area. It's just so light. Now, he did say he was going to cut it low, but obviously he had to go up. And there's probably a reason why he went up. So when I wear a bikini, you're going to see it slightly. But from a distance, you're not seeing it as much. So this is what it looks like. This is my scar, guys. But yes, that's my scar. It's good. I love it. I have no issues with it. Now, sometimes, like if I'm doing certain workouts, I can feel it at the site. Like, I can feel like the tension in it. This is why I said stretching is so important, because if you don't stretch, that area is going to stay tight. But at least if you stretch it out, you do certain kind of movements, it helps with that healing process. Now, I don't have any issues. From time to time, you might get a slight pinch in that area. Or if I do a certain type of workout, mainly certain type of ab workouts, I would feel a little pinch and I'm like, okay, scale back. I know how to listen to my body, and I love it. I think it came out great. One more time, just to show you for the ones in the back who didn't get to see. That's my scar, right? Can you see it? I'm kind of hairy, so don't buy that, okay? But that's my scar. And I think he did great. I think that all my doctors did great with all of their procedures, from my arm to my stomach. No complaints at all. I'm grateful. I'm alive. And I could put on crop tops. I could put on a 2-piece bathing suit and walk out confidently. And again, this took some time. This wasn't just miraculously that scar looked like that. Again, it was nasty. It was ugly in the beginning. But once I got clearance, I did my part. Massaging, oils, lotions, multiple times out of the day. So just make it a priority. If it's a priority for you, we make time for what's important to us. That was important for me. So if it's important to you, you'll do something about it. If it's not important to you, you're just going to skip over this video. It's not a big deal. But like I said, those of you, so long you guys have been asking for this video. I would say about 3 years you guys have been asking me to make this video, and I just don't know why. I just never did. And I felt like this was a good time. I wanted to showcase what it looks like. And if you have more questions, comment below on this video and I'll be able to answer. Again, you guys, we are a community. I would love to hear your thoughts. You're more than welcome to DM me your picture, your scar. We could talk and have some dialogue. I answer everybody's questions. Like I said, we're a big family. And if you guys know anyone that could benefit from these type of videos, please go ahead and share it with them. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I love and appreciate you. Mwah. See you guys next time.